Good morning. Mr. Bonderman asked that I keep this short, so I've only got about 80 pages here. But it is an incredible thrill to come home, not just for me, but for my family. My children were raised here, and when all this came about, my son said, "Really, Dad? Like, you got to go do this." And today I know he was right. So my wife Tara is here. Hello, dear. She said the other day we were at the league office, and I went into my office and packed up a box, and she came in on Sunday and said, "Honey, as much as we've moved here in the last few years, you still do not know how to pack a box." But we couldn't be back. We couldn't be more pleased to be back. I want to just recognize a few people here, and then I am going to keep it brief. And if you have questions, I think any of the three of us are more than pleased. First, I want to thank Robert Nellums, who I've known a long time, and he's here today. And there you are, sir. And thank you so much. We look forward to. We look forward to taking a building you have loved and making it great. Ralph Morden is here, and Ralph is not only the head of our sports commission, he actually heads all of the sports commissions across the country. And we look forward to creating a venue that you can be proud of and that you're going to bring lots of events to our community for. I had a chance to say hi to Lenny Wilkins, and you know, the day you're not thrilled to shake the hand of somebody who's in the Hall of Fame, not once, but 3 times. So Lenny, it is always a thrill, and I'm so happy you're here today. The Ackerley family have done so much in sports in Seattle, and I know Chris Ackerley is here. He has just been a long time an extraordinary friend, but his family set the pace for sports in Seattle, and I'm very appreciative you're here. I got to know the Wright family. Jeff Wright is here, and Jeff, there you are, sir. Chris, hello. I served on Jeff's board, and so he's an amazing guy. He's an international businessman, but more importantly to me is that he's an incredible local advocate and a visionary for what can be. This is one example of it, but believe it or not, the Space Needle at one point in time almost tipped over, and it was his father and others who said, "No, we're going to save it," and today it is even more than perhaps Mount Rainier, it is the iconic symbol of our city. I think your brother David's here.
David, he's not here.
Okay, and so if you want a great experience, go to a Seahawks game with his brother. He's supposedly the quiet brother until you take him to a Seahawks game, but thank you, Jeff, for being here and for all that your family have done. But there's someone fantastic here that I'm just so happy you took time to be here, Coach Holmgren. You came to this city as a great winner, and you taught us all how to be champions. You taught me so much about being a champion, and you took me to the Super Bowl with you. And for that, I'm forever grateful. When in the NFL you look at the coaching tree of Mike Holmgren, it is prolific. And so, sir, you could go to any town and have lunch and live anywhere, and you choose to call Seattle your home, and I'm really excited to call you my neighbor. So thank you so much for everything you've done for me and for being here. One of the great things about Seattle is community, and the community of teams is so fantastic. These teams all find a way to get along, and they don't really feel like they compete, they feel like they work together, and it was such a spectacular thing. And I start with the Seahawks. The Seahawks CEO is my really great friend, Peter McLaughlin. I've known Peter for 20 years. He was the first sponsor of the Minnesota Wild when he represented Anheuser-Busch. He became a huge sponsor of the Seahawks. And then when it was time for me to head to Tampa to try and turn a hockey team around, there was one person that I thought could be a brilliant leader, and he has taken the Seahawks to a whole different level. And I just am so appreciative of what you've done and your friendship, sir. And I look forward to having dinner where one of us doesn't have a suitcase with us. And so Another team here that I have great admiration for is the Storm. And the Storm are going to be our partners. This is a city built on pioneering. The Storm pioneered here, and they're going to be our partners. They've been at it for 18 years. Force 10 has done brilliant things, and we're really excited to have them as our partner. Kevin's here, Kevin Mather, and the Mariners. And when I came, I didn't have to look far to see a masterpiece right across the street. It was one of the best done facilities ever built around the fan, and it really was inspiration for some of what we did with the Seahawks. And another part which I love of Kevin is he's a true hockey guy. He's even got a hockey scar on his face. But he and John Stanton do brilliant work, and their best days are in front of them. And then I perhaps say my best friend for last, the Sounders. There's a guy named Adrian Hanauer here today. Adrian is polite, but persistent as heck. And we had many coffees and talked about soccer belonging here and being here. We launched the team together, and that can lead to a lot of stress and frayed relationships, but through it, Adrian actually became a dear friend of mine, and I'm forever appreciative of your support and your friendship, and I have pictures on you, sir. And he laughs because he knows the picture I'm talking about. 3 really, really remarkable things happened to make this all come true. And one was the arena, and I was witness for a number of years the struggle of the arena. The second is the team, and the third is the fans. And so I'm going to talk briefly about those 3 things. But the arena battle really started in 2003, and I couldn't believe the Sonics left. I was here. I couldn't believe that our city couldn't support an NBA team, but they left. And they left, and it really caused a long, long, arduous journey. And it seemed like a Rubik's Cube that just simply couldn't be solved. And then along came a guy named Tim Leiweke. Hello, brother. His daughter, Francesca, is half of the dynamic duo. And they did what others couldn't do. And Tim, we wouldn't be here without you. So, thank you. Tim and I, we grew up a bit of an unconventional life. We had real adversity in our life. My brother Tracy's here. We lost a mother when I was young. We lost a stepmother. Neither one of us went to college. But we've always remained dear friends. We've worked in the same business. Now we get to work together. And I know my mom and dad are looking down. I'm very proud today, sir. So thank you. At that arena, we're going to host more than National Hockey League games. We're going to host the best events in the world. Ralph, you're going to bring great events. We're going to, every man, woman, and child in this community will have reason to come to this beautiful arena. Our dream is certainly to win a Stanley Cup, but we dream of the NBA, we dream of lots of things, and dreams do come true as evidenced by what's happened with the arena. But that arena was the first step. The second step was the team. And some say, wow, that just looked logical and sequential, but in fact, it takes lots of courage. So there's a few partners here. Harry Sloan is here, and Harry is our Energizer Bunny and is going to do lots of things to help bring the media side of this to life, but he's a great recruiter, I know firsthand. Len Potter is here. Len is not only going to be involved in the team and a partner, but you and I are going to work closely together, and he's also a very effective recruiter with offices not too far from the NFL, and we had lunches, and you were very convincing, sir. Jerry Bruckheimer is here, and this is a guy who could be anywhere today. He is prolific at what he does. A kid from Detroit went on to become one of the greatest movie producers, television producers in the world. And he could do anything today he wanted, but he is here today. He's here today because he loves the game of hockey. And so I think a kid from Detroit, you can dream about red carpets and movies and other things, but I think the ultimate dream is being involved with the hockey team. Jerry is a true, passionate hockey fan, and he is going to help lead the way to making our dreams come true with the team. And then there's my new boss. And I would not have done this if we didn't have the right leader, and that's David Bonderman, who has been a superstar in business, a legend in investing up to this point, David. Another guy who could do anything at this time in his life, but he came here to Seattle. And he's going to play a whole bunch of different roles. He is my mentor, he's my boss, he's my partner, he's a Husky, and he is really the reason I'm here, because he articulated a championship vision. And I'm so grateful, David, and I'll try and not to let you down. So you have an arena, you have a team, and then you have fans, and these are the best fans in the world. And recently they demonstrated that in about a 1-hour period of time. I've always believed in the fans in Seattle. I've always believed they were different, and I want to make a few pledges to those fans today. Our pledge, first and foremost, is to serve and make this community better because we're here. Our passion will be around brilliant events and creating extraordinary guest experiences. And our commitment will be to win in everything we do, but ultimately to bring a Stanley Cup, yes, back to Seattle. It happened once, and it can happen again, and we're going to do everything we can to make that happen.